Hi everyone, it's Catherine here. I am just finishing up my PhD now in Manchester. I am hugely thankful for being included in the DGEMBE scheme throughout my PhD. It's really shaped my PhD, and I was only in my second year when I got to meet Mark, Hasnat Liesel and Professor Mayosi. And as many of you know, I met a lot of you last year for my month stay in July. There has been numerous learnings for me throughout this DGEMBE experience in terms of research. I had 3.5 weeks to complete some work during my time in Cape Town, and within the first few days I had access to the university system. I was set up on the UCT computer clusters, and we were encryption based downloading the RHD gen genotyping data from Canada. This efficiency at UCT and the amount of data that Prof Mayosi's group had collected for the RHD Gen cohort, from the genotyping data to the 80 traits we analysed, BMI, weight hip ratio, height, loads of traits, meant that we got it analysed during those few weeks. When analysing the South African data, I had to think more about linkage to equilibrium than I do when working with European data, as European DNA is less variable. I think definitely for me as a lab-based scientist, I was absolutely fascinated by the social issues and ethics discussions we had with the workshops run by Olivia and colleagues. In particular, the fact that we were studying a disease, rheumatic heart disease, that has a treatment, penicillin, and the social reasons why those infected with strep throat infection either didn't have access to penicillin or why the reasons why they didn't take it was absolutely fascinating. So I think the main takeaways for me from the DGEMBE scheme is that the groups at UCT have collected lots of intensity phenotype data. There are unstudied questions there to be analysed in lowly studied populations, and the groups at UCT are so well connected to international specialists. So many of the students were on research experiences in top universities while I was there. For me, it was a great experience for just my scientific research to do some new research in a new environment with a new team of people. A huge impact from the DGEMBE scheme, aside from research, was making the connections with all of you South African researchers. You are very welcoming people, incredibly hardworking, and laugh very easily. Now, when I go to conferences, I have new colleagues to look out for. We visit each other around the globe, and this will keep continuing even when the DGEMBE scheme has finished. Not only were the connections strengthened between UOM and UCT, but I think as well within UOM we got to network and bond more through this scheme. So I just want to do a big thank you to Professor Keavney and through his collaboration with Professor Mayosi, how incredible this scheme has been. How very lucky I've been to have it during my PhD experience, but also massive thank you to Dr. Engel for all his help while I was in Cape Town and looking after us and all the fun and all the trips. And a big hi to Loazi and Hasnat and Liesel as well. I think I wasn't the only person impacted by this trip, and even the students that only had a few days or met the students over in Manchester were hugely impacted by this scheme, and I want to take the rest of the video to show you some of their inputs.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki and I had an incredible time in rainy Manchester learning in the Keavney Cardiovascular Science Lab. I learned so much about congenital heart disease as well as different genetic approaches I can apply to my research back in Cape Town. I had exceptional bioinformatic mentors, Dr. James Eels and Dr. Simon Williams, who taught me how to code in RStudios from a complete beginner to a boss coder. I learned so many invaluable bioinformatics skills that I can implement in my own data analysis, not only for my current master's degree but for any research that I partake in the future. Special thanks to all the members of the Keavney Lab, Kath, Steph, Shona, Eliza, Mankit, Apostle, Ying, Richard, Gennady, Simon, Jen, and of course Prof Bernard Keavney, as well as Paul Casher, Siobhan and James Eels, for making me feel so welcome and making my time in the UK so phenomenal, educational and fun. I had so much fun making new British friends, exploring Manchester and networking. Thank you for the opportunity, I'm very grateful.
Hi everyone, I'm Alice, and attending genomics meeting in Cape Town was a very great educational opportunity for me, which I'll probably never forget. Even though genetics is not the first topic in my own research, I did really enjoy it. I definitely got a new approach of thinking and how to look at my own data more deeper, so definitely I got more creative. I enjoyed also the workshops, especially about the critical review and stats, meta-analyses. That was very useful for me. And last but not least, I had a lot of fun meeting new people, having new friends, networking, and going to excursions to see the Cape Town and its surrounds. So I'm very thankful for that.
Hi everyone, it's Liam Swanson here from the University of Cape Town. I think at the start of my masters, I could not have imagined the last 2 years going as incredibly well as they have. A huge thanks to the engineers and clinicians and geneticists for teaching me so much about so many different things over the last 2 years. It's been an incredible ride. I think DGEMBE has really given me an absolutely amazing opportunity to make new connections and make new friends and get exposed to the international world of research and see what's going on out there. I've been really inspired by the passion and enthusiasm that we've seen within this team, and I think it's what makes this team so incredible. And so I really am looking forward to seeing everyone again and working with everyone further.
I think it's my great pleasure to join this exchange program between Manchester and Cape Town, where we meet so many great people working on the same area about heart disease. And from here, I also meet Professor Zook. She gave support on my paperwork, which have been shortly published. And it's also unforgettable that all the people have bring us to see the beautiful scenery and delicious food, and also the tasty wine, where we enjoy our time together. And I think I will give my great thankful to all the organizers and people who was in this program. We wish to seek the further cooperation together in the future.
Hello everyone, I'm Polycarp Ndibangwe speaking as one of the DGEMBE grant recipients, a collaborative effort between the University of Manchester and the University of Cape Town to promote genomic medicine research in Africa. I went to learn a fluorescent technique known as whole man in situ hybridization. We use this technique to visualize the location of express messenger RNA in zebrafish. I work on zebrafish embryo that are 5 days post-fertilization and younger. This technique is robust and it helps a lot in cardiovascular disease studies such as the ones we do here at the cardiovascular group in Hatta Institute here in University of Cape Town. This technique, I did enjoy what I was taught by Dr. Paul in Professor Bernard Keavney laboratory there in the University of Manchester.
Hi, it's Dr. Jamie Ellingford here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to coming out to South Africa. It really enabled certainly me to understand the research that was going on in South Africa and the potential for collaborative links. We came with a couple of PhD students from the Manchester Centre for Genomic Medicine, and I know that enabled them the opportunity to learn about some of the challenges that face genomic medicine in South Africa, and they had a real opportunity to learn about those challenges through workshops that were organised out there. Going forward, it's given us lots of opportunities to potentially collaborate in the future.
Hi everyone, this is William from the University of Cape Town. I was in Manchester for bioinformatics training. This was a great learning experience for my personal and academic growth. The bioinformatics training equipped me with the necessary skills to analyze large data sets, which is applicable in my own research. I'm grateful to have made new friends and established potential collaborative links in future with a group of young scientists. I got exposed to new cultures and had an opportunity to explore Manchester and the surrounding cities. This was indeed a great lifetime experience, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Sharifa. I'm from Malaysia. I joined the Cape Town Manchester exchange program in summer 2018. And to be honest, it was by far the highlight of my PhD journey. It was such an amazing 3 weeks in Cape Town. It gave me such a great experience holistically in terms of academic. I get to learn a lot about cardiovascular genetics, and at the same time I have the opportunity to share my research in vascular physiology. And also in terms of culture, it opened my eyes to a whole wide Europe experience. I mean, the culture in Cape Town is amazing. The nature there is mesmerizing. So I had such an amazing time there in Cape Town, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
My name is Lynn Sykes and I was part of the DGEMBE tour from Manchester University all the way down to Cape Town University. I was delighted to be able to share some of the research that I'm doing looking at acute reductions in kidney function. And I was delighted to do the groundwork for setting up an epidemiological study for a fully funded PhD looking at acute kidney injury in South Africa. We learnt several communication techniques for genetic testing and genetic counselling, and even with the jet lag we still managed to do a little bit of sightseeing, found a little bit of time for face painting and some times to go and see the penguins. We had a wonderful time out at the Cape of Good Hope going for a walk with some of our colleagues and new friends from Cape Town University. And who could possibly forget our traditional night out with djembe drums and all of the traditional food that we were treated to. But perhaps most poignant of all, we will miss our friend, Professor Bongani Mayosi.
Hi there everybody, I'm Tariq Sali and I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the DGEMBE exchange program. I've managed to go on 2 separate occasions. The first one was in 2018 for just about a month, where I was part of Prof. Bernard Keavney's lab under the supervision of Simon Williams, and he introduced me into the bioinformatics world, where we manipulated some strep A bacterial DNA sequences and answering some questions about protein quantification, and this gave me the confidence in order to pursue into bioinformatics and basically learn and identify more strengths in that area. And with the second spell, I've joined Prof. Tony Wetton's lab under the supervision of Dave Lee, where we identified putative protein biomarkers for severe cases of RHD, and basically taking these digitized swath maps and identifying the differentially expressed proteins as an in silico approach for protein identification. And overall the experience was really great. Like, I've managed to meet a whole lot of people that have influenced my life and basically upskilled me as a young scientist and as a person as a whole. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephen, and I'm just here to talk about the Cape Town Manchester Student Exchange Program, which I was part of, and I really want to say thank you for that opportunity. I was primarily in Manchester to learn about data analysis and what happens from when you get raw reads or FASTQ files all till when you get your VCF files, which are Excel readable, and you can be able to manipulate it in any way that you want to give you the data or the information that you want to convey. And then towards the end, I was also able to learn about zebrafish husbandry, rearing zebrafish and what to feed them and how often to feed them. So that was also an additional thing that I learned. And apart from that, meeting new people, making new friends whom I've stayed in contact with, and also traveling in the UK and seeing beautiful places and all that. So I really say thank you for the opportunity, and I would not mind coming back again. Thank you.